And we're back with another episode of the Lakers Fast Break podcast. It's Gerald Glassford. Come right back at you here for the Lakers Fast Break. Pop Culture Cosmos, where we cover the latest news and trends in pop culture each and every week, twice a week, wherever you get your podcasts. On the latest Pop Culture Cosmos, Josh Peterson and I are back as we cover Wonder Man. I've got a full review of Wonder Man on Disney Plus. All 8 episodes I caught. What did I think of it? Marvel's latest show? Find out on the latest Pop Culture Cosmos show, including the box office update where we talk about what happened this weekend in the box office, and also Arcade 1-Up. Are they dead? Are they alive? What's going on with Arcade 1-Up? We talk about all those great things and more on the latest Pop Culture Cosmos, wherever you get your podcasts, and also as well on YouTube, on both the Pop Culture Cosmos channel and also the Lakers Fast Break channel if you're a member as well. Want to go ahead and share some love to DBSH, Daniel Berry Sports Highlights. Yo, he says for $2. Thank you again for the super chat. Truly appreciate it. I just want Gabe, Kleber, and Connect gone. But a good win for the Lakers nonetheless to close out the absolutely, successful at 5-3. What I predicted, 5-3 for the road trip, the Grammy trip. That seemed fair of what the Lakers would do, 5-3. So yes, they did that today. So yes, big shout out to DBSH. Go ahead and like and subscribe to the Daniel Berry Sports Highlights channel. Also as well, my good friend at Drip Show Shop on Instagram and Twitter. You see Kobe and Gigi, this awesome pillow that's always by my side right here when I go on the air. Always right behind me is the canvas art that you see. And today it's Luka and Kobe looking at you right there. Go ahead and make sure if you want something like this. I've had t-shirts, that Joe's had hats. There's been posters with John Costa. All those great things he can do for you. Just go ahead and reach out as far as pop culture or sports related with my man at Drip Show Shop on Instagram and Twitter. Also want to mention, if you want your Lakers fix in the morning, I go ahead and I drop a new Lakers Latest on the Lakers Latest channel, part of the Fan Arc Network for you. So go ahead and check that out. It's 15 to 20 minutes of Lakers goodness right there and the NBA. So go ahead and check it out each and every day. Like and subscribe to there as well. So hopefully you guys will do that. And hopefully we'll get aboard some great people to come on the show, whether it's Legend, whether it's from I Got Next Sports Media, John Costa from Clutch Talk of Lakers Corner. I know he probably had his 3-minute report done by halftime. This game is so easy to call. And then also, well, the Joe Soro Experiment Show. Go ahead and check out all those great channels by liking and subscribing to those channels as well. So the Lakers finishing up the Grammy trip. And usually when teams are finishing up their trips, especially long 6, 7, 8 game road trips, they usually are out of gas. They usually run out of gas and usually are really huffing and puffing right there. So I will just say that it was great to see the Lakers have some energy to start the game and finish this off, hit the accelerator, and get on going early. They got a big boost to the rotation as Austin Reaves. Now, JJ was true. JJ was right on his word. He did say that Austin would come back sometime before the end of the trip. We just didn't know it would be the very end of the trip. But we did get Austin Reaves tonight in a limited minute fashion as he was in there. Looked rusty at times a little bit, but still 3 of 9 overall, 1 of 5 from 3 and 8 of 10 from the line. 15 points for him in 21 minutes. But it was LeBron James in what may be his final time in Brooklyn, looking really good and sharp from overall in the field. 10 of 16 from the field, 25 points for him. Got a standing ovation at the end of the game. Luka Doncic, 24 for him. Kind of an off shooting night, 24, 6 and 5. Jake LaRavia had 18, but it was the fact that the Lakers started the game 15 of 18, 88% from the field, even with all the missed free throws in that first quarter. Didn't matter because they were having a layup line just absolutely just amazing shooting in that first quarter as they got off to a 45-23 lead and cruise control. They just popped it in cruise control, clicked that button. It's like on the I-15 heading from Las Vegas to Los Angeles. There's just a stretch where you're just going 80, 85, maybe a little bit faster. I really don't want to say that out loud because the Nevada Highway Patrol may come knocking on my door. But there's that point in time where you're going at a really good rate of speed, and it's just all a straight line, guys. And you just go ahead and hit that cruise control button, kick back, cruise to about 90. Got your maybe take your feet out of your shoes right there. Just go a little bit barefoot action there, and you're driving. That's what it was like for the rest of the game because the Lakers put it in cruise control after that first quarter and never looked back. Never got under 20 really at all at any point in time. There was no threat by the hapless Brooklyn Nets, and the Lakers win 125-109. They finally get to the 30-win plateau, 30-19 on the season. Just an excellent way to close the trip on a good note. 5-3, like we called it. That seemed like a fair observation, was 5-3. I know some people said 6-2, but I just, again, the way it was looking out, we looked like when we called it earlier before the trip, it just looked like a 5-3 trip to us. That puts the Lakers in 5th place in the Western Conference in a tie with Minnesota, who is very active today on the trade market themselves. But they're 8.5 games behind the Oklahoma City Thunder, technically in 5th place in the Western Conference. So hopefully you guys will go ahead and get a chance to relax and enjoy. After that first quarter, hopefully you guys just took a deep breath and just kicked back on the couch and enjoyed that game. Intel Wilds in the chat. Truly appreciate the super chat as always, my friend. And I just want Gabe, Dalton, Kleber, Austin, LeBron, Bronny, and Hashimura. He went up to you, DBSH. He went up to you on that one. He said he wants Gabe, Dalton, Kleber, Austin, LeBron, Bronny, and Hashimura gone next season. He wants Austin gone too. That one might be a little controversial. Again, I've made my thoughts clear on that. I kind of lean towards Intel on that because, again, I don't know. It's going to be a very expensive get him back on this team. And I'm not sure he gives you enough on both ends of the floor to be able to justify 45, close to $50 million a year. But again, it is what it is. And the Lakers now have a victory in hand. They're 30-19 on the season. Absolutely enjoyed it. So hopefully you guys got a chance to enjoy it there out too. Craig, yeah, there was no game on Discord. I checked. I heard there's some problems, technical issues with the people running it tonight that normally run the Discord in the first place. But I heard there was some, okay, maybe it wasn't so technical. Maybe it's a little bit more personal issues. But again, that's some dirty laundry. I don't want to air too much out there for everyone out there. Because again, I don't know the particulars. I just kind of sensed around, and there's kind of particulars there indeed. But again, great win for the Lakers. Got a chance to enjoy it, and hopefully you got a chance to. Hopefully you guys got a chance to check out everything as far as what went on with the trade deadline, because there was lots of movement. Joe said that based off the CBA, and I could see his reasoning why, that there would possibly be a very slow and boring trade deadline, and that still may be the case on Thursday. He may be right about that, but my God, Tuesday was active and jumping with 4 major trades that were out there. Big movement among 4 different transactions, and we'll go ahead and cover them on today's show. So hopefully you guys get a chance to catch up on that as well. So I want to hear your thoughts. The Lakers weren't part of any of those transactions. I know Pinty from Germany, who sends me messages and mock trades all the time, was hoping that Rob was there with Sean Marks in Brooklyn. And I'm asking why? Why would he need to be there in Brooklyn? So he could give the human touch for a trade. What the heck are these for? That's why John Costa's company, Zoom, that he works for, was invented. You can have that human touch over a computer. It's okay. He could be at El Segundo at the UCLA Health Center, working the phones, working with 29 other teams, not just the Brooklyn Nets. And again, how many of the Brooklyn Nets do you really want? Because I know you guys like him have mentioned Nick Claxton, Noah Clowney, Day'Ron Sharp, Zaire Williams, Haywood Highsmith. And I'm thinking to myself, this rotation has gotten them all, I'm going to go ahead and be exact on this, has gotten them all of 13 wins this season. Are you sure you want any of those guys or a multitude of those guys on your team? Do you think they're going to give our team such a boost after being on a 13-win team this season? And it's funny because, the Pinty from Germany, big shout out to him, though. He's trying. He's trying, guys. I'm giving him kind of a little bit of a break because, from overseas and maybe he's not accustomed to doing this wheeling and dealing type stuff. So I'm giving him a little bit of break. But man, he has found every low percentage shooter that he could throw off, and he wants to give draft picks for him. And I'm like, dude, if you really want the Lakers to stink so bad, have Rob execute the trades that you're asking for. My gosh, seriously. But I'm a glutton for punishment, guys. If you want to send me your mock trades, either in the chat here or in the chat below, if you're watching this afterwards, or Lakers Fast Breaking Yahoo.com, I'm a glutton for punishment. I remember I've been weaned on Laker Tom mock trades for years, so I'm good. Bring them on, and I'll critique them as best I can, and I'll do what I can. But it's great to have you here. It is the Lakers Fast Break. Hopefully Joe or John are coming on tonight. Hopefully stopping by. I know that these early games always get us as far as the traffic and things of that nature, and it's just so hard to set up for the evening when for us on the West Coast, it's just a little bit harder to do as far as on the West Coast. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure if I know that John has to do his 3-minute report first, but Joe, if you're on, man, come on over. Enjoy the actual context. But again, if you enjoyed the game, I hope you did, because the Lakers 5-3 on the road trip. They did win 125-109. Otherwise, I'm going to get into it with the NBA trades that came down the pike down today. So hopefully you guys are going to listen. I know that Najee Marshall's name has been noted. 2 issues: good defender, good slasher to the basket. Absolutely. Terrible shooter. 30% on the season, 30% for his career. So he's right on his average, guys. So when you guys say Najee Marshall, understand he will not stretch the floor for you. He's averaging 14 points. I get it. I understand it, but he does not stretch the floor. The second thing is, remember, he is also on the Dallas Mavericks, and 1 year and 2 days now after the trade of a lifetime with Luka Doncic, I don't think that it is in their best PR interest to trade anyone on their team to the Lakers at this point of time. So I just, those are my thoughts. I could be wrong. It's a new regime there, so they may be more willing to trade, supplemental pieces to the Lakers, but I really think they want some time and distance before they go ahead and deal with the Lakers again. Xbox, what's going on, Mark? Yeah, no worries, Mark. I mean, again, we're all brothers. Hopefully you guys will get back together and hopefully everything will be all good. I've enjoyed our great times together. If not, I've enjoyed our great times together, and hopefully they will continue for many more days, months, and years right here at the Lakers Fast Break. But always wishing you guys well down under, and hopefully everything will stay good indeed. Greg, what's going on, my friend? Greg was here. Gerald, Luka got to put pressure on Rob. Long as he stays quiet, Rob will not do nothing. Again, Greg, even if he said right now, Rob, you got to do something, I don't know what he can realistically do, because he can get some stuff along the fringes, maybe even as high as because I've talked about a Kobe White, Ayo Dosunmu deal. Packaging those two, because those are 2 expiring contracts. But Chicago, because Chicago, as I talked to Caleb Ponce on the NBA observations I dropped last night, and it dropped earlier today for you guys if you want to check it out. We talked about it. I got the news of James Harden, and I thought he was going to go, to Cleveland or Orlando for the Suggs contract or the Garland contract. And it looks like Cleveland wants to get off or Cleveland did get off the Garland contract because they I think they realized what's going on with his feet, and it's not his foot, and it's really not that good there. What's going on there? But one of the things that we talked about as far as Chicago would be a major player because they've got, or coming into this week, guys, they had 8 expiring contracts. The Lakers have 7. They had 8 expiring contracts. And being a 500 team or a team that seems to land on 37, 38 wins every single year, it's about time that they shook things up. And so far it's looking like the case because they've been very active. And we'll go over that in a minute, in a second. So Legend's about ready to pop in. Legend, do you want me to? Are you on, my friend?
Yep, I'm on.
Oh, okay. I didn't. I don't see your beautiful face, young man. So I just, as far as that's concerned. So I wasn't sure if you were going like the Joe Incognito when you, or not. So, but great to have you here, my friend. How you doing?
Pretty good. Can't complain. Just got through grading some papers.
Okay. FFFFF. Okay, no worries, my friend. A
Yep.
teacher after my own heart on that. But it is the Lakers with the easy victory tonight in Brooklyn, my friend. Your thoughts, though, on the game? Guess you could really not say so much about that because, after you go 15 of 18 in the first quarter and you leave 45-23 against a 13-win team, the Lakers finally did. Well, they actually had another game the other day when they did. They actually finally were able to go ahead and there you go. That's the legend I know. All right. That's the legend I know right there. The Lakers were finally able to put together and everything together on the way out. And it's good to see because most teams on these long road trips, they're usually out of gas. They're usually got nothing left but air. They usually will be the ones that get beat by 30. But it was great to see the Lakers, about what we thought they would be, a 5-3 team on this trip, end up with a good win on the road in Brooklyn.
Yeah, they came in and they handled business. I think they won this game enough to where they were able to go and rest their starters and just let the bench guys pretty much wrap up the game. But give them credit. They came in, played well, wasn't looking tired either. They looked pretty good. Like you said, Gerald, you used it at the end of a long road trip. You start kind of lagging a little bit, showing the fatigue and kind of having games be a little closer than part where it should be. But they came in and handled business. They looked like they were fresh and good to see Austin Reaves back too.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the thing I wanted to ask you next. Again, Austin, JJ was right. He did tell the truth. He would come back sometime on the trip. It was the final game on the trip, of course. But AR came back. He's on a limited minute schedule, everyone, so he cannot play extended minutes as of yet. But he looked a little rusty. But the one technique that pisses a lot of people off that he still has, even when he's not in the best of shape or not getting everything going as far as on the floor, is the ability to draw fouls and getting to the line 10 and shooting 10 free throws. That's what he does. That's what he can do well. He's one of the better, if not one of the best at it. And tonight we saw an indication of bringing him back in, what he could do to help this offense, not necessarily the defense, because we've always, you and I and Joe and John and everybody has talked endlessly about his defense, but his offense, people may have forgotten what he could do on the offensive side. Even if he's not clicking, he can still do things to help this team win some games.
Yeah, he can still, help take a lot of that offensive pressure off of Luka and LeBron and others, and that's another shot maker that you add back onto the team. Now you got another guy who can come out here and create his own offense, like you said, whether get into the free throw line, knocking down the mid range jumpers, or just attacking the basket at will. There's another offensive scorer on the team now. Kind of helps out like what we saw against the Knicks. They started struggling on offense, and a lot of others couldn't knock down the 3-point shot. Even though Austin isn't the world greatest 3-point shooter, but it brings a boost on the 3-point shooting as well. So still bringing them back is it's big for the Lakers. It's gonna help them out big time. And hey, I guess you can say LeBron back too because of the news about him. He's not gonna be traded, so he's gonna finish out the
Yes.
season.
Had to be there had to be a post legend because we
Oh
couldn't
man.
get away from it. Like, why do we get a post on 200 other players in the league that are not moving by Thursday? But no, we got one on LeBron because we needed one on LeBron, legend. We absolutely needed one on LeBron. And yes, I'm being facetious out there when I'm saying it. But yes, LeBron did confirm, or it was confirmed via Twitter, via report, that LeBron does not expect to be moving anywhere. Even though he said it weeks ago, he said he's good. He's good. Nope. To reiterate, he is not going anywhere this season. Whew. What a relief, legend. My God, I was just so sweating bullets. I was on pins and needles, just waiting to find out whether or not LeBron was going to stay or not, legend.
I had to explain to somebody earlier today. You know he got no trade clause, right? Of course he ain't gonna go nowhere.
Well, I mean, if he waived it, he could want to go. He could he could ask for it. But he had said a couple weeks ago that he's good. He's good. He's not going anywhere. But they wanted to make sure that there was another statement out today in this flurry of activity. Oh, he's still good. He's still good. He's not going anywhere. What a relief, legend. What a relief. As he, again, had a good game today, 25 points, and got the standing ovation from the Brooklyn crowd upon his departure.
Yeah, I get the feeling. I think a lot of teams are maybe wondering would it be his last year because of the whole emotional in Cleveland and all that. I was wondering that since we're seeing a lot of standing ovations now, more and more he's going. But that's good though. He getting his respect. He playing ball. He look good, and actually got to give him credit for being 41. He looks good for being 41. There's a lot of people who wish they could have been playing that well at his age right now. But that's impressive.
Nobody's questioning that, legend. Nobody's questioning that at all. But he is what he is at this point in time. He can still has the athleticism at times, but at other times he does look old. His average and his numbers, I think, are comparative to his early season. I think it may be statistically his worst season ever, but it's still a 20+ point game per average. He's still 25-5 or 26-6, whatever it is. It's still very good numbers. It's still, I guess, all-star numbers. And by the way, Kawhi and they did announce some extra positioning for the all-stars so that they can have this little 5-on-5-on-5 thing, USA versus the world.
There you go, Clipper Nation.
Yeah, there you go. But because they had to, because they're hosting the thing, so you figure you should have someone there a part of it. But again, when it comes to LeBron, I don't know why that was necessary. It wasn't necessary. It isn't necessary, but it just adds to what Joe and I have been talking about as far as all the noise that so many people are now just cannot wait to get away from.
Yeah, I noticed a lot of people are except LeBron fanboys. A lot of people are really wanting to move on from the LeBron account. I noticed that a little bit today when I was on Twitter and just scrolling through the NBA sites, just seeing what people are talking about. And yeah, I noticed some people are really still wanting to move on from LeBron. And I guess I can understand that because of the whole, what comes with him and all the shenanigans, like what happened this past summer. We had all of us think he was going to retire and pull the rug off of all of us. But, I get the feeling he probably maybe leaving in the summertime. I have been wondering a little bit, looking at what the Cavs been doing. Are the Cavs trying to set themselves up to have one last hurrah with LeBron? I've been wondering that a little bit, just off of what the Cavs been doing today.
I know that again, JSJ is posting what Mark Stein. If the Bucks ultimately decide with Giannis to take the saga in the spring as far as his trade request and all that, which wasn't a trade request, which is a trade request. League sources say the Lakers would become a very viable threat to land Giannis, and that he would be great to pair with Luka Doncic and Austin Reaves. Paraphrasing what Mark Stein said. JSJ, think for a second. Who would the Milwaukee Bucks want in a trade back physically that makes $45 million ish in a trade? Answer is Austin Reaves. He would go in a trade. He would. Okay, they would not take DeAndre Ayton, Jake LaRavia, and Jared Vanderbilt in the stead as just the main pieces of a trade. No, you would need someone to send that they feel that they value could be a foundational piece for their future. And
yeah.
lo and behold, if he signs a contract that big, Legend, it would be AR.
Yeah, I'm sorry, chat. You're gonna lose AR. I'm sorry. Whether you want to hear it or not, he got to go. That happen.
And I understand you're quoting Mark Stein on that, JSJ, but you got to read it and put it in context. Mark Stein probably put the stuff out there and then didn't realize, well, yeah, that's right. They can't retrade LeBron because LeBron is off the team.
Yep.
So that leaves, the guy we just signed to a major extension in AR. That, again, but I'm just saying, JSJ, I'm just saying. Silverhawk, great to have you here. Gerald, Legend of Joe. Well, A and the L switch those, but you're all cool. People do that all the time. Who do you think the Lakers can realistically land the next few days or in the next 2 off seasons? Legend, I'll go with you. You go with your teams, the Atlanta Hawks and the Golden State Warriors. And we're also going to go over those 4 trades that were made today so far. I've got Twitter on high alert. So if anything comes down the pike, I'll mention it during the show. I'm going to say for the Lakers, again, I started off in NBA observations, Silver. If you get a chance to check it out, I said the Chicago Bulls would be active, and they have been. They've got a lot of expiring contracts, and 2 of them just happen to be Ayo Dosunmu and Kobe White. Now, the Lakers don't have much in the way of assets, but they do have expiring contracts to go back. So since Chicago seems to be just getting players to get players because all these players they're getting in don't fit to what they're doing, they're just expiring contracts. Maybe they would be, kind enough to send Kobe White and Ayo from there, at least one or the other or both, preferably both, because I think getting both would make the team a lot more competitive than they are now. Legend, you've got 2 teams that you're covering in the Golden State Warriors and also as well, of course, Atlanta. Who do you think realistically they're going to get? Because it's been all quiet on the Giannis front so far.
Right now, I would just say part is swapping out better role players and stuff like that. That's the only thing I can really see. I'm not for sure what the Hawks are trying to do, but they is clearing cap space, so I'm not for sure who they trying to go after. But for both sides, I just see them getting like better role pieces and all that, and maybe getting more draft picks. The Giannis thing, I just don't know what's going to happen with that one. I just don't know. But the one thing I will say, Gerald, I haven't really heard that many people bring this part up. There is to me maybe one risk about Giannis, maybe one concern. That part would have. Okay, he's already in his 30s. It's that calf injury keep happening. That's my other concern I have with him.
He's had 3 or 4, I think, over the course of his career. He's had multiple. So yes, that should be a concern. That's an excellent point when it comes to Giannis. But again, when you're doing that, you're doing this because of Curry. You're trying to run out the clock with Curry because you see Curry as having one of his best seasons statistically of his career. And you really, again, like with Luka, what we talk about with Luka all the time, you don't want to ruin a statistically great season from Luka with just an average team around him. You want to do something better and you want to do something more. At least you could throw your hands up at the end of the day and say, hey, look, I gave it my best shot. And Giannis, if he goes on Golden State for 4 first-round draft picks and whatever, is probably the best shot you could get for Golden State right now.
Yeah, that'd be the absolute best chance you got. And I mean, it's pretty much do or die. That's pretty much what it's gonna come down to. It's the last hurrah for sure. And that's in that scenario. You just gotta ask yourself, can Giannis stay healthy enough to get you one? Because me personally, when you're in the Western Conference, and because it's so competitive, it's so tight. Well, if you lose 3 games, you just drop like a rock. I feel like in the West, you be lucky just to get 1 championship, just 1 with your probably your best player. The way the West is so crowded, and I just would wonder, can Giannis stay healthy with the cap part? I did been thinking about it a little bit too as the last 24 hours or so. I was like, if the Warriors were to get him, that's my concern about him. You keep getting hurt, man. I don't know if that's a sign that the body's already starting to decline. I don't know if that's a sign or not. I've just been wondering that. Because you're like 32, I think, 31, 32. So that's to me already a slight, red flag, that I don't know how much time he got, and the way he play, I can't be surprised to get injured that often off the way he play.
Craig, you made up a good point about Jared Allen. One, because for the longest time, it looked like of that core four with Garland, with Mitchell, with Mobley, and with Allen, that he would be the most likely individual that would be traded. We had said this now for a couple seasons that he would be the most likely, but he's playing well. He just dropped a 40 spot the other night, Allen did, and looked like one of the most dominating centers in the league the other night. Plus, also, please note that Cleveland, in a matter of 2 trades that they've done in recent hours, Legend, have saved quite a bit off that really expensive second tax apron that they are in. They've cut quite a bit off of that with the 2 trades. I mean, just in the Darius Garland trade alone, they must have saved tens of $1 million by not paying that 3rd year on his contract. And they also saved almost $50 million in taxes on that first trade that made. I don't know if that gets them completely into the clear and puts them in the first tax apron. I believe it does, but if that's the case, I'm not expecting Allen to move because they are still very competitive in the East right now, Legend.
I mean, after all the moves they've done, I mean, they must feel like they got a chance to still make some really good noise in the East, and I would say the East is still wide open to me, so I don't blame them to go all in. And I'm not sure about the James Harden one. Still a little interesting. They went for James Harden, but James Harden quit everywhere he go. But I give Cleveland credit. They going all in. They going for it. I don't blame them. You really got maybe 2 teams the most I would worry about in the East: New York Pistons. After that, I mean, I feel like it's wide open after that. Even though Boston looked pretty good too, and Boston to me added Vucevic from Chicago, so it's kind of interesting to see how this play out. But I will say this, Gerald, and it kind of hurts me to say this part. There is one team I really do think, if I'm Giannis, I would probably go there. If you don't mind going to the West, I would probably strongly consider going to Minnesota. It's a younger core. You got a younger star.
Well, also they freed up some more cap space. Very interesting earlier today when they traded Mike Conley as part of the trade. And so we'll get it that it says, oh, cool, bro. Come on. Stafford threw that pass to the other team. It was not his O-line's fault. It was his fault. It's his arm. But, that'll be mentioned. You should put that when he goes into the Hall of Fame. Got to mention that. Got to put that right. He threw the ball at a critical time to the other team. But anyways, Legend, it is, of course, the Lakers fast break. The Lakers do win 125-109. Again, pretty much an easy run all the way through. Never in doubt after the first quarter with the Lakers hitting 15 of 18 shots and then just cruising and just for the most part was above 20 the entire game until the fourth quarter. But with the trades that were made out there, and we're going to go one by one. It started off around 11 o'clock. I actually had an interview set up with a Utah reporter that covers the team. And I would text him at 10:30. I said, good to go at 11. And about 10 minutes later, a trade happened with Jaren Jackson Jr. And then I texted back around 10, 11 o'clock. I said, I think your day is going to be busy. I'll reschedule. It's okay. I'll reschedule because, your days just got busy with Jaren Jackson. I want to hear your thoughts first off on this first trade. It was actually a lot of pieces moving around as far as the Utah Jazz, a team that we thought was in the midst of tanking. We did not think that they were looking towards a now future, but with one trade that they made with Jaren Jackson Jr., John Conchar, Jock Landale, and Vince Williams Jr. going to the Utah Jazz for Walter Clayton, Kyle Anderson, Taylor Hendricks, George Niang, and 3 first-round picks. All signs are there now that Markkanen is staying there, so no trading for Markkanen. Now you got a Markkanen, Jackson, and potentially Walker Kessler front line next season.
I thought that was very interesting when that trade first happened. I thought they was tanking over there, but maybe not. Because they gave up a lot to Memphis. Memphis got a nice haul right now. Picks.
Well, they got a picks. Yes, they got the picks. And if you take a look at the salary structure, they got huge cap relief. Now Utah was well under the cap as a whole, so they could absorb a lot as far as the cap is concerned. But yeah, Memphis, they didn't get anything back as far as expensive players are concerned. So there is a huge disparity in the amount that they sent out to what they're getting back. So this should clear their cap space for a while so they can take on bad contracts. Because if they're going into full tank mode, A, they got to get rid of Ja, and B, they should just take on bad contracts and get more picks. Although they have 12 first round draft picks in the next 7 years, they're now one of the highest amount of draft picks, first round draft picks for any team in the NBA.
Maybe they're trying to take the Oklahoma route, trying to stack up all them picks. Just curious of that.
I think they are, man. I think they watched the model of what Oklahoma did as far as changing on the fly, and they realized with what JJJ Triple J gives them for what he is worth, what he is being paid for, they realized it's just not going to be anywhere that's going to get them any time. They maxed out when they reached number 2 in the Western Conference about 3 seasons ago, and it's gone downhill ever since. And they've only made it to the second round of the playoffs once during. Yeah. And so, and I think they saw the writing on the wall. I think it was a smart move. I feel kind of bad because I thought he was actually going to go Triple J to San Antonio to be alongside Wemby. I thought that was going to be a great place for him to go. But as long as he doesn't have to be the first or second guy, I think that's what's best for him. I don't know in Utah if that future is there because, again, he still a lot is dependent on him. But I think he would flourish most as a third wheel as opposed to a first or second. Because I just asking him to be a star and continuously does not seem like he's motivated to always do that.
It doesn't. And I kind of figured when I saw Triple J move, I knew I guess the Ja Morant trade is coming soon too. But it looks like it. They're definitely learning from what Oklahoma did, and which it ultimately it worked in the long run. What they did, I think Oklahoma was very blessed. It'll be curious to see how this thing plays out for them, how they use these picks wisely. And I mean, this is a good draft to be getting a high draft pick for sure. This is a very good draft to be going into it with, and maybe see how the future kind of builds up in the long run. I am curious to see who takes Ja Morant though. I'm curious about that one because of he only lost a lot of athleticism. He ain't the same Ja Morant you saw a couple years ago that was second in the West. He's not that person no more. I'm curious to see who wants him at this stage of his career.
And note this, Legend, in the trade, as Craig astutely pointed out, it is actually the highest amount ever. I think there was the Gordon Hayward trade, I think cleared 28, but this one's just a few dollars higher as far as the trade exception is concerned. So Memphis now has a $28 million plus trade exception. So please, everyone take note on that. Again, not necessarily to get a player that can help them now. They will maybe be able to take on bad contracts so that you can throw them more assets to their way so that they can, like you said, build a team with youth and develop it as far as, through first round draft picks going forward. So we'll see what happens in Memphis. Very interesting. But for Utah, I think they're just done. They're just done trying to be an afterthought. So they're going to pair Markkanen and Jackson together. What are your thoughts on a front line if they get everything done? If Kessler signs, because I believe he's an RFA as far as this summer, coming off the shoulder surgery, 3 7-footers. I'm still not in love with Markkanen at the small 4 at the 3, but again, you're going to have a 6'10", 7 feet. That's a pretty big front line you might be walking into in Utah.
They might be working to put something together. I mean, I think the way it looks after what happened today, I look like Utah's finna try to stop being the punching bag for a lot of teams and start punching back now. And finna start building a decent team down in Utah. I wouldn't be surprised if Utah end up being very competitive next year if they continue to build their roster out the right way. But I mean, at least I can say this for sure. Everybody who's been wanting Walker Kessler, he gone. That's probably over. Unless he just go to the team. Probably
They're going to
over.
focus on getting him now and keeping him
Yeah.
now and retaining him now. So we'll see what happens. Although, again, if you're interested in Yusuf Nurkic, I think the odds of him leaving in the next 48 hours or so is probably just gone up even more. Yeah, so that was a very interesting trade. So I want to hear your thoughts on that as far as Triple J heading to Utah. Utah says we're done. We're done losing. We're going to go ahead and try and make things happen from here on out. And we'll see what if Danny Ainge and his son actually worked out a good trade or not. But Chicago, Minnesota, Detroit. This one was kind of just like pieces flying all over the place, but it does have some reasoning behind it. Jaden Ivey and Mike Conley Jr. goes to the Bulls. Mike Conley is going to probably be actually, in the everybody seems to know it already. He's going to be waived at some point and become a free agent after the trade deadline. So I don't even think he's going to Chicago or flying to Chicago. It's just there in name only. Jaden Ivey and Mike Conley Jr. to the Bulls. Kevin Huerter and Dario Saric to the Pistons. So how many times will Dario Saric be traded before the trade deadline? Your guess is as good as mine, but it's already on 2. So we'll see if that happens. Yes. So we'll see what happens as far as see if it's a third time. Dario Saric and Kevin Huerter goes to the Pistons. Detroit also receives a 2026 first-round protected swap from Minnesota. Reasons why Detroit gets a shooter, even though he's not having a great year in Kevin Huerter, legend. So that's an issue. Again, I was looking at him for possible trade to the Lakers, but I realized he is struggling this year. But he's on an expiring contract like Rui Hashimura, around that type, 17 million, around that area of cost. So 17 million coming off the books for them. But it's a shot in the dark that you add another shooter to Cade Cunningham. As far as for Minnesota, you are freeing up cap space, like you talked about, for Giannis. And for Chicago, I think it's just about seeing about whether or not Jaden Ivey is someone, because Jaden Ivey, I think is also can be a free agent, but you also might want to keep him if you think he's a young talent worth keeping.
I would Pistons. I definitely would still keep him. I feel like they're doing so good with their young pieces. I wouldn't break it up to get too many older pieces. Keep what you got. Definitely retain your big man, and still continue to go for it. They're number 1 in the East. I wouldn't be tearing down much of nothing. Just play this season out, see what happens. I will already say, no matter what happened for the Pistons this season, if you get eliminated in the Eastern Conference Finals or semifinal or whatever happened, if they don't reach the finals, to me, they had an excellent season. That's a success for them. And I feel like I wouldn't tear down much of nothing. Just keep building on. Go to Oklahoma City route. Keep building on. Because you're going to eventually break through. That's one thing I will say that is so good about the parity of the league. I know a lot of people don't like how parity is around the league, and I kind of don't like it that much either. But I will say for teams like Detroit, hey, this benefit them. That's why you keep getting all these new champions so much now. And the way it's going, maybe everybody gonna end up getting one championship with this parity stuff going on.
And I know that will upset Joe in the at the very least, because he is not digging it, and I understand why, and he's elaborated on that. And look who is here! What a coinky dink!
Man, the myth, the legend.
Yes, the man, the myth, the legend himself. It is the guy behind the Joe Soro experiment, and of course his company Simblades, Simblades with a Y.com. It is, of course, Joe Soro. Joe, good to have you here. Easy win for the Lakers. A great way to end the road trip at what we expected it would be, 5-3, as they head back to Los Angeles. No news yet on the trade front for Rob Pelinka, but for an active day, it was confirmed, and I know you were on pins and needles yourself like I was, LeBron is not expecting to go anywhere anytime soon.
No trade clauses tend to do that.
Mm-hmm.
The reality of what's coming here is it's better for the Lakers to get Giannis this summer. It's easier the following summer, but that would mean him going out as a free agent. But it's looking like his patience won't likely allow that. And the Lakers will have more. The Lakers will have more assets to take to however that deal could go through if it's still there. And then if you are able to get Giannis a year earlier, then you're already on your way to creating a consistent, competitive title team with Luka and Giannis. So I'm going to be crossing my fingers that he doesn't go to Minnesota. Although some of my instincts say that why would he go there? I don't know. I don't know why he would want to go play in Minnesota. He's already playing in Milwaukee. I feel like it might not be a lateral move, but I don't know. I don't see what the benefit of his career going to Minnesota would be.
I'm like, you should have done that before you came on.
I don't realize it. Guys, I'm 27, but like I'm starting to lose so much hair. It's kind of fucking crazy. Like,
I feel so bad. Oh, I'm so sorry.
No, I'm asking you to feel bad, but I'm just telling you, I don't realize it.
I was being facetious. I'm 56.
It's like
you think I care what you're doing at 27?
You could do plugs like me. At least that's what everyone thinks I have.
What, like going to Turkey and shit like that? No, but what's crazy is like I do this in the same when I'm at work too. Like I'll hop on a Zoom meeting and then I get on there and I'm like, oh shit, let me fix my shit. I don't really realize how I look until I hop on.
That's why they got the preview screen.
That is why they got a preview screen. But
there you go. You look like a mess. No, then I'll go ahead and click on it. It's so funny. I was talking with somebody, and John, by the way, John Costa's here, Clutch Talk on Lakers Corner. Go ahead and check out his 3-minute report right now on the Lakers and Nets. Like and subscribe. I was talking to someone as far as because he wants really this trades to happen between the Lakers and the Nets. He's really invested in it, and it's like, I'm assuming Rob. He's like, I'm assuming Rob and is there in Brooklyn right now with Sean Marks, and I'm like, why? Oh, for the human touch, just like we did with Luka. And I'm like, okay, Luka was something done under a shroud of secrecy that was kept quiet, that started off in a luncheon between those two. I get it. I understand that. During the trade season, you cannot go ahead and fly to 29 other cities just to have a personal touch with 29 other GMs. That's why they created Zoom. That's why they created this thing.
Come on.
And it's almost just like, God. And all you're doing, and because he's making these mock trades, Pinty from Germany, and I'm just like, why would you want to go and travel all the way across the country to get anyone off the Brooklyn roster when you could just do that off of Zoom or Microsoft Teams? It just blows me away.
Was that somebody like within our community?
Yeah, he always he always leaves it, but he never watches this live. He always watches it after. But anyways, and he never watches our long stuff. He said his wife would divorce him if that's the case. So he only watches our short stuff. But
his wife would divorce him if he watched our long stuff.
But he messages me at 3 and 4 in the morning with these crazy Laker Tom style trades, and it's just like, oh my God. But be that as he wants every player that can shoot 30% or below on this Lakers team. And I just want to give you that. But again, it is John Costa. John, good to have you here. Easy victory tonight for the Lakers. Before I get back to Legend, you were asked a question in the chat about Atlanta, so be prepped for it. John, I want to ask you your thoughts. Austin Reaves returned to the lineup tonight. Limited minutes for him. Doing what he does best, getting to the line, managing to still get those fouls. It looked rusty. Of course, he's a month off. Of course, it's going to look rusty. But we understood why it's so good to have him back because of what he could do to propel this offense forward with the Lakers.
Yes, honestly, I feel like last game when we played the Knicks, I feel like that was such a game when you really missed a player like Austin Reaves because like we had like the offense just got stalled out. We had nobody to go to, and truthfully, outside of LeBron and Luka, there isn't too many players on this team that can not only create offense for themselves, but create offense just in general, whether for themselves or whether for others, right? So like that's even something I said on my 3-minute recap for the Knicks game. I was like, damn, like in a game like this, you really miss Austin Reaves. And then coming into a game like this, we didn't really need him there to get the win, but I do think it was great to have him there because he can get his juices flowing, and it's not like, dang, bro, you got to get your juices flowing, but we need you to be Joe, chill, Joe. I see that face, Joe. It's not like, damn, we need you to be Austin Reaves so we get the win. He had a chance to ease into it. I think that's, that's best of all. He had a chance to ease into it. He got his first game. Now we're going back home. It's just about feeling just, a little bit more comfortable, just the margins, locking in those margins, and us getting a nice, easy win like this. I think Austin Reaves played like 20 minutes, scored 15 points. You love to see it, right? You not too much pressure, get it going, shake the rust off. Cause I'll tell you what, man, basketball, we said this all the time around here. Basketball is a game of rhythm, right? So, you're out of rhythm for the last 19 games. You don't have a touch of, and there's nothing that can replicate 5-on-5 basketball. You can do whatever you want. You can do whatever little cone drills you want. You can have any of these little scout players with you, but there's nothing that replicates real 5-on-5 NBA basketball. So, hey, Austin Reaves got a chance to get the rust out tonight, and we got an absolute dominant win. I have no complaints as far as tonight's game, and that's what we do here at LFB. We take it game by game. I'm not going to get too ahead of myself. Not going to be like, oh my gosh, we're back, because it is the Nets. But a win is a win, and I'm going to take it. And I'm happy to be here with you guys. And goddamn, sorry for my language, but my wisdom tooth, that shit hurt the other day. Yo.
Yeah, hello. Yes, been there, done that. Yep, not fun. Not fun indeed.
But what really sucks is just having soup every day. It's like, damn, can I have something else?
And ice cream as well. But I will say this again. I didn't mention this, but AR did start the second half. So Jake LaRavia was back off the bench. So expect that going forward as a sign from the Lakers. I know that JJ alluded to it in the post game. But again, it's good to have Austin Reaves back. I wanted to go ahead and ask you something about the Atlanta Hawks, Legend, because Atlanta Hawks were asked in the chat, what do you think that the Atlanta Hawks are up to? Because they're also a team under 500. They've already made a big move already. Is it time to just shuffle the deck and start looking in other directions for the Atlanta Hawks right now?
Yeah, I would kind of look in other direction, because you're not going anywhere in this season. This season looking like it's going to be pretty much a same old pretty much. So that's what I would consider. And I think the Hawks probably sit back and look at it. You might could have got more for possibly a little more for Trae Young, other than what you got. But you know what? I ain't gonna talk about that part too much. I'll be drinking Hennessy all night tonight. I won't do that.
Okay,
but
fair enough.
Damn, Legend. Don't let the kids hear this.
But now they said they're going
just said on the last show. He just said scotchy throughout the entire show. What's the difference of that?
Well, I'm just saying, he got kids. The kids he teaches.
Let's see me the next day. I'll be all right after that.
What happened now?
Legend.
No, Legend said he was going to enjoy some Hennessy, a lot of Hennessy after the show tonight. And I said, and Joe was, John was calling him out on it, and I just said,
no, I'm calling him out on it. I'm just saying, fuck it. Like, what if one of the kids here? You know what I'm saying?
Legend, John, you can't be calling anybody out with that whatever the hell's on top of your head looking the way it looks.
What, my hair?
Yeah, you gotta calm that down at least.
I haven't cut my hair in a long time, brother. But see, that's work from home life. You never got to cut your hair.
No. You cut your hair, or at least comb it.
How many barbers are charging? What, like 50 nowadays? You got me.
I don't give a shit what they're charging. Cut it.
Touching that shit, Joe. I'm gonna say Bill Joe Soro. Build the Ox experiment.
Yeah.
Joe, speaking of the trade deadline, a couple more trades were made. A very active day in as far as the trade deadline is concerned. Not yet there, but a very active day today. May actually be a dead day on Thursday because of what happened today. But the Bulls were still active. Something I talked about in NBA Observations. The Bulls still active because after the trade that they made, we just talked about with Legend, with that 3-team trade with Detroit and Minnesota. They made another trade with Boston, expiring Anthony Simon's contract for Nikola Vucevic, and they both swapped second rounders. Your thoughts on moving Vucevic, a stretch 5, onto the Boston lineup? Joe?
Sorry,
I was locked into the chat here.
I heard myself in the third person.
Yeah, that's weird. Where'd that come from? It's not
No,
for
it
me.
came from mine because I opened it up here. I like to
Okay.
support.
Okay, there you go. Appreciate it.
So what was that question again, Gerald? Sorry.
What do you think of the Vucevic trade? For
At
Chicago,
this
it's
point,
just money off the books.
well, at this point, I'm starting to veer into the Brad Stevens side of things. I think Mark Walter needs to start figuring out how to get Brad Stevens to LA, because I think that move is going to set up. It's going to set up likely for they're going to try to go get Zubac now, and if they get Zubac, this is going to be a major problem. Very, very, very major problem. Vucevic and Zubac at the deadline, after all the stuff that they've done with not having Jason Tatum there, and if Jason Tatum gets back and somehow plays at least at 80% in the playoffs, that's going to be a problem.
John,
a better version of Robert Williams. Remember Robert Williams on the Celtics? He just couldn't stay on the court. That'll be a better version they can get Vooch.
Defensively, it doesn't do a whole lot for him, but again, stretching the floor, they love to play the stretch game is where they have 5 out, where they're just bombing threes. And of course, don't tell Vucevic you have to do that twice, because he loves shooting from 3. So you don't have to tell him twice on that. But the last trade so far, as of now, was the Clippers finally acquiescing, and less than 24 hours later, James Harden, the beard, going from the Clippers to the Cavs for Darius Garland and a 2nd-round pick. Want to hear your thoughts first off. What do you think happened? Okay, all Clippers jokes aside, because you could put like 5 million Clippers jokes into this. What do you think happened? Because when you look at it in a microscope, the Clippers, since the 1st of January, they've been the best record in the NBA. They've had the best record in the NBA. They're playing better than anyone else. They went from the doldrums and they moved up into a playoff position or play-in position as of now. What happened, do you think, with the beard in Clipperland? And he's from LA on top of it.
Right? On top of all that. And he wanted to be there and everything. I mean, it had to have been some personal, some going on in the background. I mean, we know
he's James Harden.
I was gonna say, we know the drama queen that he is, right? Like he's also the same guy that was in his Adidas China tour that said Daryl Morey's a liar and I'll never play for his organization ever again.
After you've done everything on the planet for him for like 10 years.
To everything that you've ever wanted, right?
Pitched as MVP each and every year. Yeah, on the radio. Yeah, I remember.
So it had to have been some personal, had to have been some on the back end. But again, unless somebody, you guys usually know like the cap stuff like better than me, to be honest with you. I like to watch basketball. I'm strictly about the hoops. And I don't know if it was much of a cap move. I seen it. We were talking to LFB chat. Look like
Cleveland saves tens of millions of dollars literally in tax because they don't have to pay the extra year Garland.
Okay, got
and I'm sure his foot, because he's had his problems with his foot, and they're talked about. I know that they talked about this earlier this week and putting a special plate in his shoe. Whenever you talk about putting special plates in a shoe, you know that there's something wrong with that foot.
That's crazy.
You know it.
You know what's crazy, Gerald? Just last year, if I'm not mistaken, the Cavs had the #1 record in the NBA, not just in the East, in the entire NBA. It's crazy how the fall off happened so quick. But about that though, and real quick, I just want to acknowledge everybody here in the chat because JSJ said what's up. Someone, I think his name is literally someone. He said what's up, y'all. And no, Danny, I am not paying $80 for a haircut ever. Anywho, let's keep it going. About the Cavs though, I'm gonna be honest. A backcourt of James Harden and Donovan Mitchell, I don't know how this team, continues to get better, to be honest with you. I mean, unless they still have some moves that they're trying to do, because you last year just had the best record in the entire league. The next step logically is, all right, now let's get to the, let's get to the promised land. But with a move like that, I'm gonna be honest, I think that's a backwards move. Just gonna be honest with you. Like, I don't see how they improve. Yeah, on the offensive end for sure, but we all know it takes defense to win championships.
Well, they were a team that until this recent surge was a close to 500 team with one of the biggest salaries on the market. They were in the second tax apron and were going to have a huge tax penalty if they didn't make some moves. And in recent days, they've got Schroeder, they got Ellis, and now they got Harden, who asked her out. So again, it will save them money. I don't know, and I've heard rumors that I know Tough pointed out that Harden wants an extension and didn't get one from the Clippers. I don't know if you really want to give a 36-year-old agent
crazy. He also wanted one from the 76ers, and they were like, dude, after the way you played in the playoffs, fuck no. And he's Joe, I hate when Joe acts like
and you got mad when you called out Legend for the Hennessy stuff.
What? Whoa! I don't got no kids watching me. My daughter in the other room playing.
I wish some kids would say something. I know the stuff about them too. I wish they would.
You're like, man, shut up before I tell your parents about your grade.
Let's all sit down and talk. There you go. Absolutely. I got some stories to tell about you guys. But it is, of course, the Lakers fast break. The Lakers do win 125-109. They're in 5th place in the Western Conference, 30-19 on the season. Legend, let me bring it back to you. With the activity going on, we've seen this is probably this could be the most active day. I'm not sure if it's going to get any busier over the next 2 days. That's my concern, because I don't know if the teams that wanted to trade have traded. Chicago's just a bunch of guys at this point. They're just a bunch of salaries. They're all coming off the books, and that's what Chicago wants. And it's clear that they don't care about winning this season. They just care about getting money off the books for next season. But with some of these teams, it's very interesting that the ones that have not made the move are just as interesting as the ones who have.
Yeah, it could make tomorrow become possibly interesting. I mean, if it does get interesting, I hope so. I will stop class and be like, all right, pause class for a few minutes. I gotta go look at my phone. Y'all just.
I wish I had a teacher like Legend growing up, man. That's crazy.
You know what? The duties. Run the chemistry lab on y'all own for about 5 minutes. I'll be right back.
Read 2 chapters in this book. I'll be right back.
I'll be right back. Y'all got it. Put my star student lead the class for a few minutes. Since principal ain't coming, we good. I'll pause class if something major happens tomorrow. Either that or one of my kids gonna stop the class and be like, "Pause, everybody, pause. We gotta talk about this now." I got a lot of NBA kids in the class kids who love NBA.
What grade is it?
Got 11th grade.
Oh, damn. Okay, so you got like they know what's going on.
They know what's going on.
That's what's up.
I got a whole group of boys that'll be like, "All right, Mr. Can we just stop class for a few minutes? We gotta talk about this."
That's crazy. That's what's up.
Cool, bro. Will you enlighten us and go away?
That's what I was just going to mention, because Cool Bro is in the chat to let our audience.
If it's not fucking Rams questions, it's some stupid philosophical question.
Our audio to our audio audience, Cool Bro's in the chat.
I don't like kids. When are you guys going to understand this? I only love mine. That's it. And my nephew. That's it. I don't want kids around me. I don't want kids asking me questions. I don't want kids anywhere in here. This is an adult area. Okay, my own kids are not here. So
I'll tell you what, Cool Bro. Wait until you're 18. Go to Temecula and
wait till you're 28.
Joe might enlighten you, but it might involve a right hand. And I will just say that, and I'll leave that as. But Joe, getting back to you.
Look at this. You kiss your mother. My mother's dead. How about that? How do you feel now? Yeah, shut the lights out a little bit on that one.
Okay,
I hope not, Joe.
Be that as it may,
is that really the case?
What?
Is that really the case?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, brother.
I've shut down some good shit talk from people.
Yeah, that shut it down.
Face drops. It's like that was the effect I was looking for right there.
That happened to me the other day. I'm not gonna lie. Somebody said something. I was like, dude, your dad. He's like, I don't know my dad. I was like,
Oh,
I gotta ruin that joke.
I knew my mom, and
that hurts right now.
Yeah, that one hurts because he never knew his dad.
I was like, oh, dude, I'm sorry.
Painful memory right there.
No, I struck a nerve.
That's called blowing your hair back. It makes sense now.
That's a low blow.
Joe, with the Lakers and this trade deadline, 2 days left, or around such. Do you see anything that Rob is going to be doing in the next few hours, seeing how this trade deadline today has been so active as far as this trade day is concerned?
Maybe around the edges, but no, nothing major. Unless somehow by some miracle, and I only say this because he's done it twice, he gets the big fish. He's just a big fish getter. That's all he's done, really. That's been positive in a way. He got AD and he got LeBron. I'm sorry, he got AD and he got Luka, and it's still TBA on whether he was really him or he was just the guy that brokered it. So I'm not in any way concerned whether they do or don't. I think off of what JJ just said in this press conference, it's obvious that this team is not focused on winning championships. They're focused on money. And while I appreciate the honesty, that was proof right there verbally and to the public that this team isn't really concerned about winning a championship.
Is there anyone today that was traded you were hoping that might land on the Lakers?
Vucevic would have been nice. And it went to Boston, and I just started rolling my eyes like, these guys are getting guys that you're supposed to get.
For sure.
And they're opening other things up to go get more people. That's because they're set. They have their stars. They've played above their heads, at least what we anticipated them to play over. But then again, it is the East. So we'll have to wait and see how this plays out. I don't have any concern at this moment about anything until the season's over.
Joe, quick question. So I've talked about that with my brother before about Rob being like a big fish guy. How much of that do you give credit to Rob, and how much do you give credit to this is just the Lakers? Like, you can come play in sunny California, LA.
It all plays it plays a part. It all plays a part.
Mm-hmm.
That's why that money coming off the books is an asset for the Lakers, and it's not what it was in, let's say, 2015, 16, when they were trying to get the Marcus Aldridges and the Carmelo Anthonys. In a weird way, they couldn't get those guys, and at the time, Laker fans were very upset because they couldn't close.
Mm-hmm.
But in the end, it was a blessing in disguise they didn't get those guys, because the guys didn't really move the needle. And Kobe put it best, and it'll always be the same line. If you have to think about being a Laker, you ain't.
Hey.
Notice how LeBron didn't wait. Matter of fact, he knew 6 months earlier he was going to be a Laker. Either you are or you're not.
Come on.
And that's just how it works. There's a history there, and it's a history of immense talent. We're talking Shaq. We're talking LeBron. I mean, you can't really get, in terms of popularity, the last 35 years, could you get any bigger than LeBron and Shaq? Those two chose to come to LA. And are you going to be able to live up to those two things? Shaq's the best big man of his era. I know some people will say Hakeem, but I think Hakeem was a little early, too early. Like, if I was going to compare Shaq to anybody, you want to compare him to Alonzo Mourning and those guys, right? Because Hakeem had a head start a little bit. But in terms of big man, you had the best big man of his era for sure. And then you had the best player face of the NBA the last 15 years in LeBron. Those guys chose to come to LA. So if Giannis, even though he doesn't have control and wants to leave this summer, which I totally get, if he says, though, hey, I want to be a Laker, yeah, then that makes sense that this is the guy that you want on the Lakers, because that usually, when you factor in Shaq and LeBron, they both brought you, they brought you 4 championships together.
I said it to JY because he's asking, is Rob making calls and getting hung up on, or is he not active? I think he's active. I think they're all active at this time. They're all feeling each other out. Sometimes they call you just for thoughts on this. Sometimes they call you for a harder offer. So I think he's working the phones. I liken to a fisherman. He's fishing, but no one's biting on the worms that he's putting on the hook as of yet, because he hasn't put the right worm and gotten the right fish to go ahead and reel on in as of yet. But again, like Joe said, when you only have a small amount of assets to give, you should only expect a small amount of returns as far as I'm concerned. S1 says, would we prefer Joker or Giannis? I would say Joker, all day
Joker
long.
all day.
10 times on Sunday.
That'd be insane.
Take everything you want. You want my wife too? Come on.
Yeah.
Man, I don't even know what the league would do at that point. Luka and Joker and their boys. Fuck.
It's over.
Oh man,
it's over. It's
it would
over.
be. It would be. I would just sit and just like watch them play 2-on-2 all day.
Yeah, it's done. It's done.
They could put Costa at the power forward position,
and I'm killing shit.
And
I'm
just running circles, and he'll get layups left and right.
I'm running right across that baseline, right across dunking it, little reverse. I'm getting that all day long.
Silver, what we can't compete right now, according if you read Mark Stein, and that's what you believe, because that's something that's been expected for as far as Giannis Antetokounmpo, and I know that Legend's been keeping an eye on Draymond Green. Brent, I would prefer if I'm Milwaukee, I would prefer taking the Butler contract. I would not prefer taking Draymond Green. That's just me. Brandon Podziemski and Jonathan Kuminga. I know that Dunleavy has said that he didn't want to trade Butler, but that was just before Giannis announced that he wanted to become available. Sorry, he asked for a trade but didn't ask for a trade. Your thoughts, Legend, on that? Because again, Silver's saying that the Lakers now could compete with that. The problem is they can't compete with the 4 first-round draft picks if that's what's Golden State offering. And I'm assuming they could offer more, just like the Lakers can offer more in the summer as well.
Yeah, I definitely know we'll be able to offer a lot more in the summer. The only thing about the summer, you're just going to have more competition now. Everybody going to have better packages. So if I'm the Warriors, if I really want Giannis, I would somehow try to figure out how to land him now before I give everybody else opportunity to hop in the mix, and somebody else offer something, probably offer something much better than we did, something more appealing. So if I'm the general manager, I'm trying to make this happen now. I feel like it's gonna be a lot harder in the summer. I really think there's gonna be a lot of other teams with more interesting packages at that point.
What if the holdup in this trade, if it doesn't go through for you guys, and you find out through the back channels or it's reported on, is Draymond Green?
I tell Draymond, pack your shit up, buddy. We're heading to Milwaukee. You're gone. Pack it up. No,
as far as them wanting Butler's contract, and instead Golden State is offering them Draymond Green.
I would ask them, are y'all stupid? Get him out of here. What are you doing? Well, it's the apples and oranges, man. Just let him go. I'm sorry. It's just Giannis. Even though there's some risk to this still, but it's Giannis. We got to do it. Okay. You owe Steph Curry that much.
Yeah. And Butler's not going to help you for at least a year. And you don't know what he's going to be once he gets, he's in his late, he's 36 himself-ish, around that age. So I don't know how much more coming off of his injury he's going to be able to give you. It was an ACL or Achilles?
I think it was an ACL.
ACL. Okay, so
I'll make sure right now.
He is one of the oldest to ever sustain an ACL in the NBA. And there's
it was a Jimmy Butler. Yeah,
Jimmy Butler.
Right knee.
No, it's ACL.
Yes, ACL on his right knee.
But he is one of the oldest ever to sustain this injury. So there's not a very sure timeline as far as if he can come back and what his recovery period will be, and if he'll ever get to that period again. So if Milwaukee wants that contract instead of Draymond, I would just say, you know what? There you go. Because what does getting Draymond do? Because Draymond signed that deal in the offseason and he's owed more money over more years. Now that just absolutely would make no sense to me. If Mike Dunleavy calls me and says, I'm going to give you Draymond Green as part of the package, I'm hanging up the phone. I'm hanging up the phone right now. Joe and I feel the same way as far as Draymond Green is. You start any conversation with Draymond Green, click is what I'm giving you in return. I don't care how many first round drinks.
Yeah, I would too. Even I would say, have a nice day, man. I'll hang up too because no, man. Jimmy Butler has to be in this package to make this thing happen.
Man, Draymond Green. I'm gonna be honest. Draymond Green is a byproduct of the team he was on. I
Yeah.
don't think he has the same career if he lands on any other team.
I don't either. I think he's gonna really be. He's gonna like a lot of the flaws are gonna really show.
He's an absolute byproduct of the team he's on. So yeah, if they were to tell me Draymond Green, I'm like, no, I'm good. You could just send me like a couple of snacks if you want.
I thought that line was funny when I read it the first time a few hours ago.
What line?
Draymond Green is available. I'm like, okay.
Who? LOL.
Yeah. Who the hell wants Draymond Green right now? I didn't want Draymond Green has been washed since the 2022 finals. That guy almost lost them that series.
Real shit. Emotional.
I don't even know what the hell they were thinking re-signing him. They had a way out, and they brought him back for whatever. What's weird is they brought him back, but they didn't bring Klay Thompson back. I would have rather have kept Thompson if you wanted to be nostalgic.
Right.
I mean, I get it, but this is basketball. You cannot keep guys that are not doing what they're supposed to do. There's only 5 guys on the court, man. If one of them can't hold their own, you gotta bounce.
We got that general manager boy.
So
you mean? But he did have a good line with the Kuminga thing, though. I gotta hand that. I gotta hand that. By the way, how the hell did he get that job?
Who?
Mike Dunleavy Jr. How the hell did he?
I think he got the assistant. I think he was the assistant.
Hey, you thought that was a good line? That was crazy. That's fucked up. If I'm Kuminga, I'm like, fuck you.
You can't demand shit when you ain't doing anything.
For sure, but I mean, the guy doesn't get playing time because the coach doesn't believe in him.
Come on, dude. This is the NBA. The NBA. When you're in there, that's how you set the playing time.
Hey,
that's how you do it.
Guy's averaging 12.
When you're dropping 25 a game, you think they're not going to play you? Are you going to play defense on top of that? You don't think they're going to play you? You don't think somebody's going to come in and go, hey, man, you guys, every time Kuminga gets in there, he's dropping 22 points and guarding everybody. Are you going to use him? We'll take him.
But you can even ask Legend, though. Kerr was kind of hoeing him for a little bit. He wasn't even trying to let him play.
Why would Kerr hoe him?
Because
Kerr is the most
all the young guys. He holds James Wiseman. He held Jordan Poole.
And what did James Wiseman do when he left Golden State?
Not shit. But he got hoed because his only opportunity to put up shots to get an opportunity. It's known. Steve Kerr does not play those young players. But I hear you though. I hear you. I
mean, you're gonna probably have to say. Here's how you have to maybe go with it. Maybe this guy destroys careers.
Okay.
Would you say that Steve Kerr is because remember, guys, Draymond, Klay, Iguodala, Curry, these aren't Kerr's guys.
Mm-hmm.
He came in when this shit was already like he came in here like John Gruden for the Tampa Bay Bucks. Tony Dungy set the stage, got fired. Gruden came in, they won a Super Bowl, right?
Yeah.
So is Steve Kerr a career killer?
To young guys, I really do believe he is. And I mean, Legend could speak to this better. I mean, that's his team. But from my time watching the Warriors, this guy.
I don't think it is. And again, I'm not a big Steve Kerr fan in general. I think he's a weasel. But it's just basketball is the easiest sport to gauge on a player.
What do you think about that, Legend? Yeah.
If you suck, if you're mid, you suck. You're not gonna be mid and suck if you're not mid and suck. If Kuminga was the second coming, or let's say a poor man's Kawhi Leonard, let's say, that shit would be out there. Like he'd be forced to play him.
Okay, but now and then I want Legend to hop in. But here's where I would disagree though, Joe, because I have played basketball my entire life, and I know that if you don't have a coach that believes in you, it don't really matter what you like what you do. If you don't get the opportunity to be out there, you're just not going to get the opportunity to show it. Legend even fell asleep. Legend was even just like, fuck that. But yeah, so Legend, go ahead. Tell me what you think.
One thing I would say about Steve Kerr I noticed over the years is, yeah, he definitely trusts his veterans a lot more. And when it comes to the younger guys, I feel like with them, he give you so many opportunities to get it together. After that, in doghouse, that's probably about it. You probably through. I did notice that part. You got a very tight leash. They gonna give. He
loves his vets. He loves
his vets.
The young guys enough to where they don't even get burned. To be honest with you.
You know who was doing that for the longest time, and it burned him until he stopped.
Talk to me. Who?
Dave Roberts.
Okay.
Managers do that. Coaches and managers, they love they rely, because people talk about, why is Gabe in all the time? Why is Gabe Vincent all the time? Why is Gabe Vincent?
Why is
Gabe
Luke
Vincent,
Walton in all the time?
He's a vet. That's why he's out there. He could
Mhm.
get 0 for multiple games, but why is he still out there? Because it's like comfort food to these coaches, because he has a name, because he did something in the past, because he was something in the past. It's just comfort food for these managers and coaches when they put out veterans over a promising young player that you and I can see should have that opportunity to be pushed.
Yeah.
And I think that's
I think-
probably the best way.
I think
to say it.
Domingue is definitely going to pop off. Like, I'm not saying pop off to like an all-star, but I think he's going to definitely pop off and become a much better player, whatever other team he goes to, as long as they believe in him a little bit more than what the Warriors believe in him as. But
So before we head on out, guys, because I got a hard out at 8:25, wanted to go ahead and make sure we got, because I got to go ahead and have and Joe, you're invited too, and Legend, if you want to go ahead, because we're doing a Super Bowl preview show, in a half-hour Super Bowl preview show.
damn,
You're
Gerald,
in a
no
few.
invite? I'm just kidding. I'm
You-
not going to-
You don't even know
I'm just
football.
kidding. I'm not going to that.
You're the guy who sits there, well, like me, and watches just for the commercials and the trailers.
Fuck
That's
that.
what-
I'm not even watching that.
Well,
What are
I'm
you,
watching.
women?
No,
I
fuck,
do
I'm
it.
not
I
watching-
do. Oh, I do a show after on the show on the.
I go to the bathroom like I do every year.
Oh no,
while
I do a show
I'm
on
outside
that.
and
smoking.
I usually skip the halftime show because I don't
I
give
do
a
a
shit.
Cosmos on that every year. It's one of my more popular shows because people talk about what trailers did we get? What trailers did we miss? What
It'll be interesting
commercials?
this year.
Yeah,
Tom
exactly.
Brady,
What
we'll
commercials?
see
What
how he feels. Patriot get a ring without him this time.
Stefan says on the Stefan Piscano podcast, he said our interviews that I did with Stefan is going up here in about 25 minutes. So please
Stefan
like and
Nightmare.
subscribe to the Stefan Piscano podcast right there for you. So please go ahead and do that. Send me the link and I can put it in the description for a while going forward, my friend. So it'll be right there, easy for people to go ahead
Thank
and
God
click on.
Kubro's gone.
Yes, Coolbro did say, "May the force be with you." Yes,
Bro,
whenever he
you
says,
just
"May the
said
force
he
be
did
with
not
you," he's
Fucking
gone.
kid.
But I'm going to start
How
off
old
with
is he?
Joe to close
Give a
out the
shit,
show
man.
in the last 10 minutes. I want to start off with Joe. Trade deadline is still over a day away.
I don't watch that shit, King Cora. Come on. Why does everybody think I'm this right wing conservative? I'm not. I don't watch that crap. I don't watch Fox News.
You
Fuck
got
all those people. Anyways, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I'm just going to ask you this. Okay, we talked about what the Lakers may or may not do and what they may or may not have as far as assets for the next couple of days.
They have the
What
first
team-
3 letters in your question.
What team are you most fearful of doing a major move that has not done a move yet before the trade deadline?
Oh, that has not done a move yet?
That has not done a move yet. So I'm just trying to make you
Minnesota.
think a little bit.
I
Well, they've
know
done a move already, but
Oh, they did?
yeah,
They got rid of Mike Conley.
yeah,
they got rid of Mike
cleared
Conley.
Yeah,
cap
that's right.
space.
Oh.
They cleared cap space.
Okay, well, I mean,
It's a tough one.
could Denver do a move?
I don't know why they would.
They've been struggling as of late.
Mhm.
They've lost tonight against Detroit, and they lost against OKC over the weekend.
No, I'm not a
You-
librarian, Stefan.
No, a libertarian.
I know.
I know. That's the funniest part.
Oh man.
I thought of the same thing when I saw Joe. To be honest,
Nah.
So again, you say Denver. What do you say, John, on that? What
I'm not scared. See, here's the thing. I'm not. The Lakers are not winning the title this year. I'm not afraid of anything, except I'm afraid that maybe he might go to Minnesota because there's some noise there. And does he see something in Anthony Edwards where, hey, I can win some titles here? My feeling is, really? Do you really want to go to Minnesota?
yeah, shit sucks over there. Probably snowing like every day.
I mean,
You being that
it's
drive.
not even that dude. When that whole area is just not good in a lot of ways. Weather, the
Has he
atmosphere.
been there?
A long time ago, yeah. I mean,
know.
I was born in Royal Oak, Michigan, so intertwined between Minnesota and Milwaukee every now and then. But Cleveland, I was baptized in Cleveland, but I don't remember that.
Oh Jesus!
The
Big shout out to Jesus.
uh, But I don't really. I don't fear anything at this moment other than Boston winning a title.
Mm.
I
They're
don't think
worrying me.
Vucevic will get them to that point.
No, but if that opens up the because they did that to open some stuff up so that they can go get possibly, because there's been a lot of talk about them going after Zubac. That's if they get Zubac now, it's a problem. Now
For sure.
it's a very bad problem because if somebody slips in the West, those fuckers are going to win it again.
Yeah, and Tatum could say, "Fuck it, I'm gonna come back."
If Tatum, I don't think it's going to happen though. I mean, I think it's you're taking a chance there. I would be, I would be careful with it, but that's the only thing I'm concerned about because if for some weird reason the Celtics win it all again, this whole era of Pelinka and LeBron and Clutch, it gets even worse.
Mm-hmm.
Silver, great question. I think we did. Excuse me, TJ and I covered it. I think on a show in December, but we could revisit that again for you on Star Trek. But I think we went into it right around the time that Paramount made the announcement of that they're going in a different direction and they're not keeping the Kelvin timeline as far as Star Trek is concerned. So Silver, yeah, TJ and I had that on a discussion last month. I can see if I can put in the description for you if you want to go ahead and check it out. But or next time I see you, I'll flash that link for you. But I will go ahead and revisit that for you just because you asked. But before we head on out, John and Legend, I'm going to go ahead and hit you up with that same question. Is there any team that you fear might make a move that might alter their destiny in a fashion that's going to hurt the Lakers long term?
Shit, if the Rockets do anything to get even more solidified, that could be tough because I feel like they got my thing.
Kobe White, right? They're talking about getting Kobe White.
Yeah, because my thing with the Rockets is like they need a point guard. Like, yes, you have Kevin Durant, but I'm telling you, you need a point guard to facilitate the offense, especially when playoffs comes, to get some easy buckets. You don't want Kevin Durant having to work for every single bucket throughout every single series throughout the playoffs. That is unsustainable basketball. That is how you get injured. You need to have a point guard to set you up, basically like an extension of the coach on the court. And if they get a player like Kobe White, God, Kobe White has motherfucking strap. He could.
Okay, you guys want to hear something that's coming up here soon in October? So whoever trades for Giannis, he's due for the Supermax. He's due to sign an extension for the Supermax in October. You guys want to hear the numbers?
Sure.
62.5, 67.5, 72.5, 77.5. What does Luka make? 50 and change?
Yeah.
Okay. So now starting, let's say whoever, let's say the Lakers get him this summer. Just use that as an example. You're going to be paying two guys more than 2/3 of your salary.
They didn't go right with Philly when they did it.
Yeah.
It didn't go right with Philly when they did it.
So you better have a good contingency plan in terms of who you bring in, how you sign Mr. Austin Reaves, and make sure that you hit on those draft picks, unlike Rob Pelinka has. Because if you don't have young players that you're drafting that are worth a damn, this can come off the rails pretty quick.
Legend, I'll throw the last question to you again. You would cover the Golden State Warriors and the Atlanta Hawks. Is there one team that you see or that could really just say, you know what, my teams have just got to call it a day? If there's one team that makes a big trade that could just increase their chances of winning that you really don't want to happen, what would that be?
Definitely, I'll say Houston. Like John said, Houston they get that point guard. Let alone be Kobe White. Yeah, sayonara for a lot of us. I would definitely say I worry about Minnesota, especially if they managed to pull off that Giannis deal. And then the one team I don't think they're gonna do nothing, but they could, because they lost a couple of games and stuff. I would watch Oklahoma if they would have tried to tweak some stuff. That would make things a little more dangerous.
What if they tweaked with Giannis?
I would probably still say the same thing I said about Houston. It was nice knowing y'all season just ended.
It was nice knowing y'all.
No, I'm sorry. They're gonna be honest. It's over. Get no summer plans.
What's up, Jeremy? Glad to have you here from down under in Australia. It is, of course, the Lakers fast break. The Lakers do win 125 to 109. I'm going to go ahead and set up again for a Super Bowl preview special. I think I'll make it live for you guys. I'll make it live for you guys on this channel to go ahead because it's our Super Bowl preview special coming up with Chris Ardieri. Again, legend. Yes, John, if you want to join, I'll send the link out to you too as well, my friend.
Thanks, Gerald. I'll come on there and talk about Darren McFadden being one of the
Do you know who is in the Super Bowl? Do you know who is in the Super Bowl?
The Patriots and the hold on, no, nobody say it. The Patriots and the team that's from Seattle. The Seattle, no, don't fucking say it. Nobody say it. The Seattle fucking Seahawks, right? Seahawks.
There you go. Ding, 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 ding. You move on to the bonus round.
The biggest thing I remember about the Seahawks is when Marshawn Lynch got that run, there was a fucking earthquake, and he's like, hold my dick in the end zone. That was a classic. I remember that. That was a classic. The hold my dick. That was
funny of the things that he remembers. Joe is, hold on. Go ahead, Joe.
Hold my dick. That's a memory of football for you?
You don't remember when Marshawn didn't know. I remember when he fucking
sick bastard. You know that?
What?
Why don't you go talk to Cool Bro about this stuff?
No.
Matter with
I'm talking about the fact that he just
Enlightenment.
shitted on everybody, caused the earthquake, and looked
You
back.
probably read that in some pamphlet while he was sitting there watching the show.
Well, shit. Hey, all I'll say is this: he fucking caused the earthquake because of the run. So shout out Marshawn Lynch.
What earthquake?
Remember when Marshawn Lynch broke off that crazy run back in the day?
I don't care about that.
Okay, Joe, you remember
What's
that.
with this dick stuff? Why are you saying that shit?
No, because that.
Of course I know what the hell that was.
He
I was
turned
watching
around
it.
and just basically told the other team, like, I just fucking shitted on y'all. Hold my dick. I would do the same thing.
No, don't do that. That is stupid.
I would turn
We
around and
always
like,
end on such a clean note.
Hold my dick. What the hell kind of sickos are you, man?
well, if I just did that.
No.
I might be having some of that Hennessy with you, legend. I just want to let you know.
I got 3 balls in the closet.
Hennessy is an acquired taste.
There you go. And I think Legend has acquired that taste. Jeremy says, Ox, I know you last year you gave me a terrible tip for the Super Bowl. Who am I betting in this year? So he gave you a terrible tip, but you're coming back for more.
I think because I wanted the Chiefs to three-peat because this was the only time we would likely ever have a chance to see it. I had no idea they were going to play like dogs like that, man. I'm pretty confident that Seattle's going to win the Super Bowl.
I pick Seattle.
Their defense is pretty stout, and Drake May is still a little green. Rabel's a good coach, but he's not Belichick good. Belichick could figure something out if he was coaching in his prime, but I just can't. I think Mike McDonald's on point. I think their defense is on point, and if Sam Darnold doesn't throw 4 interceptions, I just don't see them losing. Matter of fact, I see him winning in double digits.
There you go. Somebody that sent over an email on this wanted me to go ahead and post this out there. I guess this meme, so I'm going to go ahead and do it right here real quick before we head on out. And that look you get, I guess, when that John Horst, when the Lakers and Warriors bid for Giannis upcoming this summer.
I don't care about John Horst. I just want to look at that picture.
Yeah, who's that?
I was
going to say the same thing. Who is that?
You don't know who that is.
It's the reason why. It's the reason why it's good to be a man.
Sabrina Carpenter.
I don't know who that is, but yeah.
You don't know who Sabrina Carpenter is?
Makes you want to get on your knees and beg for buttermilk.
Jared, listen. My life consists of being an account executive at Zoom, being a father, and watching basketball, and then playing basketball.
Man, will you stop making excuses why you don't know anything?
I don't give a who the fuck.
You don't think I do all this? You don't think? What do you think? We just sit around watching everything all day. You don't think we have families and cars to drive and shit?
You have a bigger child. My child wants to play with me all the time. Your child doesn't even want to hear.
That's not the point.
Yes, my child wants to play.
Don't fall in that trap. My kids were young too once.
Yeah,
I never used that as an excuse.
And you were not doing all this.
Doing what?
All this. You weren't watching everything.
Doing what?
Running a channel, on top of working, on top of staying in shape. I go to the gym daily.
Who says I wasn't doing that?
Me?
Shit.
Let's go one-on-one.
Come on. Hey, Joe, February 22nd. I'm coming.
Yeah. There you go. Indeed. But it is, of course, the Lakers fast break. The Lakers do win tonight in easy fashion, 125-109. We'll be back on the 5th on trade deadline day. First of all, tomorrow night, we will have a trade deadline special at 8 p.m. Pacific. Legend is going to come on there. We're going to have some other guests. I'll invite Joe, John, if they want to stop on by. We'll talk nothing but NBA trades as far as what we think will happen, what has happened. And then on NBA trade deadline itself, we'll have a 2-hour show. Do you think a 2-hour show will work, Joe? Because there is a chance it could be really boring. Trade all the activity. Trade deadline special on deadline day. How long do you think?
It's going to be done, what, 3 p.m. Eastern?
Yeah.
Yeah, 10 o'clock is fine. Or 9 o'clock. 3 hours isn't bad either.
Wait, that's 9 o'clock to 3 o'clock. No, I mean, you want to do it
9
around
o'clock to 12 because we're on the West Coast.
Oh, 9 to 12. But
Yeah.
notice 3 p.m. Pacific.
Is that when it ends?
Yes,
Yeah.
I believe it's
Oh,
3 p.m.
okay, 12 o'clock then.
Yeah.
12 o'clock
Okay.
Pacific.
I
I mean, I can go at 1. It'd be easier for me because then I don't have to worry about not showing up.
probably
'Cause
about 2. I could do 2. I'll do start at 2. We'll go to 2 to 4. How about that?
All right.
That better?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I think something's going to go down before then, though.
Well, if somebody goes down before, we'll go live. That's, we always do that breaking news stuff and all that. But 2 to 4, we'll do a normal trade deadline show. And then after that is the game against Philadelphia at home. That'll be on a normal time for us West Coasters, a not so normal time for the East Coaster Legend as far as that's concerned, as the Lakers head back home. And then we'll have our post game there as well. So tomorrow night, we got something for you. Next night, as far as we got something for you. Trade deadline, we got you covered. And we've got a Super Bowl preview coming up as well. So go ahead and join us.
I heard that shit, John, for the last 15 years with you people.
What'd you hear?
All you freaking dads that are like, oh, I got kids and I got a house and I got a wife and I got to clean the toilets. And I'm like,
I didn't say I got to clean the toilet.
I got a house, I got a wife, I got kids, I got to work.
But you don't have a 5-year-old daughter that wants to play.
I had a 5-year-old daughter once.
And were you running?
I had 2.
Were you running?
Yeah.
I had 0 right now.
I'm making excuses, man.
Wait, Legend. Just wait. Just wait, Legend.
No,
Shit.
you are not. Hey,
Once you tell me she's expecting, I'm going to say, there you go. Your life is over. Your life
when I have another child? Oh yeah, dude. I honestly am.
You need to get her a little brother so you can grow up to protect her.
Yes, I do, man. That shit's just a lot.
Work on it, right? We're going off the air now. Get to work. Get to work.
Yeah, never too late.
It is, of course, the Lakers fast break. We'll be back in a few minutes if you're watching on this channel with our Super Bowl special. And then, of course, we've got NBA trade deadline special tomorrow night and the NBA trade deadline. We got it all covered for you. And some breaking news, if that happens for the Lakers. We got it all covered for you, as always, right here at the Lakers Fast Break Podcast.
That look on Mark's face when he was seeing the Luka trade go through.
Can you imagine? That's a year ago. That's a year already.
Yeah, years are a day these days.
It goes by fast, man. Way too fast. Sucks. I'm old.